Good morning. Welcome to Options Center. It's Saturday, January 13th, 2024. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I'm going to go over Bitcoin for the first time in a long time by popular request. We're going to start doing some Bitcoin reviews. Check these out and give you my best information that I can in order to trade subsidiaries or peripherals of Bitcoin. So we're going to go through Bitcoin. We're going to keep this simple. We're going to go through Bitcoin on multiple time frames, just like we do on the major market, from the monthly time frame all the way down to the 65. And I want to be clear that I do think at this time that Bitcoin and the market are correlated. That may change at some point, at some turn of event that happens on a macro scale, and they may decouple. And I'm not talking about just for a couple days or weeks. I'm talking about in general. So there is a larger bull scheme that I do think is possible, but I'm not necessarily completely bearish. Yes, in the near term, I think we're going to get our reversal from here, right now. But overall, I think this is going to be a buying opportunity for Bitcoin in the long run. And I do think that's going to coincide with the market, but I do think in the long term, it's going to decouple at some point. Okay, enough jibber jabbing around. If you're new here, go down to that bottom right hand corner, hit that Options Tenor logo, and please subscribe. And don't forget to hit the like button. You guys have been so super supportive. I really appreciate all of the help growing this channel. We'll get this information out to you traders. Let's go. We have BTC. This is a Bitcoin futures. And by the way, a lot of people ask what platform I use, and this is Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade. I think they have the best charts. Just my opinion. It's probably because I've been using it for nearly 10 years now. So okay. So on this monthly time frame, we're getting this reversal candle so far. The month's not over, but we want to view this and just know that we are at a breakdown candle high. And so I marked that with some resistance there. We get above this resistance and we can continue higher. But at this point, we're getting rejected. We'll see what happens on the lower time frames. Now, if we do get our rejection here, we're going to pay attention to the next support. It's not going to go straight down, but on the monthly time frame, this looks like our next spot. This looks like our next spot that we would get to find some sort of bounce, some sort of reaction here. And we'll have to go from there. So there's some stuff in between, and I'll explain as we go through the time frames. But overall, I think this is an impulsive move. Okay, I think this it can be a 5-wave impulsive move, and we're correcting this move at this time. The issue comes here when you're talking about a 5-wave move down. Okay, so we've had an impulse move down too. So what does that say to me? That says we're looking for a zigzag. We're going to look for a 5-3-5. All right, and you'll see that in the Elliott wave picture in just a little bit on the weekly time frame. We'll start that. So make sure you stick around and hit that notification button. So another way to look at this is if this was some sort of top here, and then you have an A, B, C, an expanding flat, to where that moves over, and then you can start going higher from here. Now, the problem with that is that we have a 3-wave move here to resistance. So we're going to have to go higher in some sort of way, find some support, consolidate, and go higher for a 5-wave impulse move. This is not an impulse move. We'll see that later. So let's stop jibber jabbing around here on the monthly time frame. Let's look at some indicators. We have our reversal indicator. We're getting the Williams %R cross right now. We're in overbought territory. The problem is with our bear scenario, and much like the market, we're still crossed over bullish on the monthly time frame. So we'll have to keep that in mind, see if that changes and we get some sort of whipsaw and start heading lower. The awesome oscillator, again, that's getting into some bullish territory, so we must keep that in mind on this high time frame. And that could be the trap for the bulls, is that that's taking place on those higher time frames, but then the lower time frames start reversing quickly from this point. So let's go over to the weekly. All right, changing over to the weekly board, we have, let me just expand this a little bit more. Okay, on the weekly board, we have this impulse move that we were talking about, 5-wave move, and a 5-wave move down. And now if we look, we're starting to create a trend that's only a pivot at this point. There's only 2 real points here, so I'm just considering this a pivot. I do think that's going to break. So 5-wave move, and you could see this 5-wave move in here as well. So 5-wave move there, you see a consolidation zone, and then a 5-wave move here. So far, and the wave 3 is actually longer than wave 1. I know it's a little skewed here on the log, but so it's beautiful as a 1, 2, 3. We just need a wave 4 and a 5 in order to continue to be bullish at this point. Now, looking at a couple of indicators, and then we'll look at the Elliott wave. You have our reversal percentage, William R percentage. We have a cross over the 20, the negative 20 here. We have a negative divergence on the RSI, and we have a potential. The histogram is almost turned here. We have a potential bearish crossover. So this is a sell. Not a quite sell here yet, a sell and a sell signal. Okay, so we'll look for the confirmation with the crossover in the MACD. Looking at the moving averages, technically, we're still trending to the upside, right? This is the 8 EMA on the weekly time frame, so we're still above it. Although we're getting reversal, we're technically still above that 8 EMA. We'll be looking for the test of the 20 to see if that holds up for some sort of wave 4. Awesome oscillator. Okay, in the past, we got a higher high and a lower high on the awesome oscillator to kind of predict a reversal here. Same thing with the reversal to the upside here. And even in that nice midpoint here, which I'm classifying as a wave B, we got that higher high indicator there. Now, we don't have a necessarily we don't need one to get a bearish divergence. It's not required, but we don't have one there. We're going to see if we start getting some red bars though with this reversal, potential reversal here. And we have a weekly reversal candle, so that's very important. That's a big deal. Now, if that holds, if we get above that candle, obviously it's invalidated. But as of right now, this is a setup. Now we need follow through. Okay, so we see the conditions here. We see this. We kind of box in this area. We have this price action. Yes, it did get above, back over, and nice consolidation price action here and rejection from it. So there's a zone, a box zone here that I think we reverse off of here. Our natural target is the bottom of the zone. And that also coincides with this consolidation area here. You'll see these on the daily time frame. Okay, let's look at the weekly. First of all, the bullish. We'll take a look at the bullish. Like I said, we're going to need a little bit more upside here. So I wouldn't put this 1 in. This would be a more bullish scenario where we have a 1, 2, 1, 2. This is super bullish. 1, 2 setup. Okay, you can even, if you want to be more bullish, because we're in this bullish scenario, we could even go here to where that's a 1, 2, and then this is really going to start ramping, and that we're getting a 1 and just a slight 2, and we should really just explode to the upside. So that's not our primary scenario here. I just want to show that to see that there's kind of a couple more bullish looks at things. But let's look at Elliott wave on the weekly time frame. Let's see if we can pull one up here. I might have saved over it. Interesting. That's okay. We'll look at it from this point of view. So what right now we have this counted as our primary as our 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wave move. For a 1, we have an A, 5 wave move down for A, 3 wave move up for B, and we're looking for that 5 wave move down for a C. Now that 5 wave move should look very similar to this. As a matter of fact, I do think it should look even a little bit more scary than this one. Okay, it's possible that this one can just be the washout before heading much higher in the future. Okay, going down to the daily time frame. While we're still on this, we'll just take a look at the Elliott wave. We had completed the A, and now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move for an A. We had a B, C, running flat for a B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move up for a C, and to complete the B, and we should head much lower at this point. Now, just notice I love looking at like this series of 1, 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2s. It's all kind of crunched up here, and it's gaining momentum and it's building structure here. And then we have that massive move to the upside, consolidation as wave 4, and you see how wave 5 really just kind of mimics the sets of 1s here, where you have 3, 4, and then 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, and that kind of mimics the other way around there. So I love it when that happens. That's something to look for, where 1 is very similar to 5. I just want to bring that to your attention. And now going to traditional technical analysis, we have our support and resistance. Okay, so we're right at that resistance zone with this consolidation area. That's a larger consolidation area. You have a consolidation under it. So these make very good points. A consolidation under here, that's the high. And so it's not surprising that we're getting rejection off of that top. Now that coincides with our channel. We have the bottom of wave 1 to the bottom of B. So, bottom, you could say bottom of wave A to the top of wave A to the bottom of B and to the top of C. So that all coincides. That's very beautiful. And now we're going to have to pay attention to this uptrend line here. Okay, we did have this drawn here, and that was just a breakdown from wave 4, from wave 3 into 4, breakdown, and then a back test of that trend line. And now that we had a higher high in there, we moved the trend line to where that comes into the support area here. Now we have a new trend line, and lo and behold, that's right where price action ended. All right, I do think we still have further to go to break this trend line clearly, and we're looking at retesting the bottom of this area here, and maybe that possibly forms a head and shoulder where we back test the trend line. You get left shoulder, head. There's the neckline, right shoulder, and then lower. All right, there's a lot of information on this chart here. Now this standard deviation move right here, we're getting resistance. It's a zone. We're getting resistance at the standard deviation. The only thing that price action did, here's the point of control. Here's our massive volume node on the daily time frame. The only thing that price action did this whole time, it held on the point of control, formed an inverse head and shoulder, and then moved all the way up just one standard deviation to the top here. So this massive move is just one standard deviation from the point of control here. All right, and we can look on that in the volume profile. I'll do that similar to how we do on the market in the next couple weeks or so. We'll continue to look at different indicators to confirm or invalidate what kind of moves we make or views that we have on the market. All right, so after we possibly form a head and shoulder here, we have kind of a wide open zone here. Yes, we have a little consolidation zone. We might get a pause there, but after that, there's not much holding back into the bottom of the channel and also the top of this. This now, it was resistance, now possible support. So what am I saying? Honestly, I think we'll get some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move down for a larger degree 1. And let's look at that on the Elliott wave. We do have the awesome oscillator already on here. You have negative divergence going to the last move there. So we did have the Williams R percent also moving down. Now, the reason why I do think we get a little bit of a bounce here, I don't think this move is quite done yet. We haven't gotten to the oversold area on the Williams R percent, nor have we on the RSI. Yes, our momentum's heading down. We already had our bear cross. We had the bearish divergence, and so that's going to continue to move, but we should see some sort of bounce here coming up soon around that 41,000 area. That's what we'll be looking for. Excuse me. Now with the Elliott wave point of view, we'll bring this back here. You see that we had the 5 wave move up for an A, 3 wave move for a B, 5 wave move up for a C. All right, and that's right to our 618 retracement from the all-time high. All right, it's a good point of view there. Now, we're going to go down to the 65, and then you can really see 65. We won't spend too much time here. With the 65-minute chart, we had a trend line that we drew here, and we broke down from that trend line. We also were being held up by that options expected move for the week there. We do have to adjust those for a weekend analysis. When we get that done, we'll do the S&P coming up here on the long weekend. Okay, so far, we only have a 3-wave move. Plus, we have this nice support here. This beautiful support. So I think this is kind of our target area. It looks like the most likely place to hit. But we're going to need 5 waves down. So far, it's only 3. That's corrective. We need 5 for an impulse. All right, so going over to the Elliott wave, this is what it should look like. All right, we had our 3, 4, and then 5, 4, 5. Okay, so we had our crunched up moves here. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Now that we're getting this not yet impulse, but we get that possible impulse 1 here, consolidation for 2, potential wave 3 that might need a little bit more to go, wave 4, and a wave 5 into the support zone that we were talking about. Okay, that would give us our first wave 1, and then a possible bounce. It doesn't have to be symmetrical necessarily. It could be some sort of meager or small bounce, some micro bounce, and then a much larger wave 3 heading down there. After consolidation or retracement, then we can start heading much faster, much longer to the downside to hit those levels that I was talking about earlier. All right, so that's our Bitcoin outlook. I hope that helps. I don't think on a 65 we need to check out too much. We're really getting down into the choppiness down here. We're bearish. We're going to create some bullish divergence. I know that that's going to happen if we get that 5th wave. We're going to start to create some bullish divergence, which will create our bounce. So we're getting low here on the MACD. No divergence yet, no crossover. So I think this continues to kind of crunch up to the downside, creating some positive divergence on the 65-minute, and that will give us our right shoulder bounce. Okay, so we have a wave 3. Let's say that's almost done. This is what it should look like, something like this. You should have a wave 4 that creates a little time. And then you should start creating a bounce, a 3-wave move bounce, which will give us a little inverse head and shoulders, a mini inverse head and shoulders. It should be, it's probably not going to look so neat like that. It's probably just going to be a little bit sharp, and that creates the right shoulder on the larger head and shoulder, and then a 5-wave impulsive move down. So that's what somewhat it should look like coming up here in the next week or two. All right, thanks for joining us here at Option Center. I hope you like this information. Let me know if you like it, and I'll continue to do Bitcoin, and then I'll add on Ethereum. If we get some interest in these Bitcoin videos, I'll add on Ethereum as well, and we'll continue to do those updates more often. And kind of coincide with the market. These should end up being just a little bit shorter. We'll see how that goes. We're at 20 minutes today. I don't want to promise anything, but if we show support, we're going to do the videos. So don't forget to like the video and give me some comments.